All right, folks, this is Dusty with Dusty's Bees. And we just transferred a swarm hive with me and my trusty, beautiful wife, Linda. Say hey, beautiful wife, Linda.
You can't see me in this bee house.
I can see you good.
No, we're not.
Yep. And we transferred from the ladder stand into its own hive.
And the bees, one day a dog.
All right, folks, welcome to Adventures in Beekeeping with Big and Little. We're here transferring this old swarm trap out of a tree stand, and we're going to put it into a regular hive. So stay with us. I only get stung once in the hand, but that's one too many. All right, a little history on this swarm trap that I've made. I built this myself. It has 8 deep frames in it, 4 on bottom, 4 on top with a separator. It's an experiment I was doing this year, and this has a little rotating dial on the front, and you'll see me a little later rotate that and shut all the bees up in it to drop it down. We got some smoke out, and Linda's helping me with the smoke. She is doing the traditional smoke dance where she smokes everything in sight, herself, me, the dogs, everything. So we did get the smoker going, and then we're going to get some bees going. All right, here I come to save the day. I am smoking the entrance of this hive, trying to get the bees on the outside to go back in before I shut them up. So that's what I'm doing here, smoking the whole and kind of getting them oriented not to attack me, sting me when I try to bring them down. And that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to shut that little. I'm going to try to pull the. It's held up by rope. I've pulled it up the tree stand with rope. Now I got to untangle the rope and figure out where everything's at without disturbing the bees too much before I bring it down. All right, this swarm hive is located right next to a creek on the very bottom of our property, very corner of our property. So we're going to put it in a hive, but I'm going to move it later. I will move it later to my apiary up by the house because this area here is very prone to flooding. Here I've got out my little hive tool, and I'm trying to break the propolis on the rotating dial. They have propolized, or made it where it's a gummy residue that they cover up holes and everything with. So they propolized it, and I had to break it loose. And now I am untying it and hopefully not dropping it too swiftly. Come on, baby. What are you doing? All right, it looks like I've got it loose, and I'm going to bring it down very gently. All the bees are locked in there, and it usually is twice as heavy as when you put it up, when you bring it down, because it's full of honey and eggs and everything, and wax. Honey is the most is the heaviest part of it, but they put some honey, they put some eggs, they put some pollen, a little bit of everything in this. So we're going to drop her over here and start pulling out the frames. All right, ready? Do it. And yes, I noticed there is a hole in the back side of my suit that I will be sewing up, because if y'all can find it, those little bees can find it and give me a rude awakening. And these will be the top 4 frames in the hive that come out. They are not worked as much as the bottom. They work from bottom up, so they have filled most of the bottom and have just started working on filling the top frames. So we're going to put them all in the box together, and hopefully they'll start filling those out too. Some of these are just have starter strips in them, what are called starter strips, and that's why that you see there's no they haven't completely filled that frame. They just started on the starter strips, and what that does, that gets them started. That gets them started. See the yellow? That gets them started in the right direction, and you start building the wax where you want it. We can guide them where we want the wax built by putting that little starter strip on the frame. You may hear in the background the cicadas starting to kick in. We do this late in the evening to ensure that most bees are back in their hive instead of still wandering around looking. Once we move their hive, I don't want them wandering around trying to figure out what happened to their hive. There's still a few out, but not many. Here I'm trying to pull the little blocks that are holding the upper frames in place, and you pull those blocks out, and then you get to the bottom frames. But the bees once again have propolized the little blocks that hold it in place, and they're also there's a lot of ants on them. So I've got to get the ants off, got to get those out of place, and then ants all over me. So and the bee suits have nothing to do with ants. Ants will come right on up there and start biting you. So now we're working on bringing out the bottom frames, the four bottom ones, and these are beautiful. Look at all the pollen, look at all the brood, look at everything on that bottom frame, the honey. Uh, so it's a beautiful frame. They've really worked it well. So I stick that in there, and the next one comes out the same thing. They've really worked these bottom frames out, and they're full of bees, full of honey, full of brood, and I think it's going to be a successful hive. Now we're using you see Linda using a feather. That's a peacock feather that we're using to. You can take the feather and gently remove, gently, Linda, gently remove bees off the frame. But what she's really doing is trying to get the ants off the frames before I put them in the new box. And she's working on ants right now, and it works great. It's a peacock feather. You can use turkey feathers or any long feathers work great. It's very gentle on the bees, very gentle on the on anything you're trying to move. Now this frame was up against the wall, and it's almost like double. They have doubly built the cone here. So if you'll see how thick that cone looks, they built it up against the wall where it's they have separation between the actual frame and the wall, and they can go in and out of that. So that's a double cone. But I'm going to put it in as is, and we'll see how it works out. Now I'm putting extra frames in here for them to work. That gives me a total of 9 frames and a 10 frame box. With that double frame, that double cone that we just put in, it should give them enough room to expand and work that double cone and work the new cone. You really don't normally want that in there because you want to be able to inspect your hives, but I think that one will move enough that I can pull that actual frame out. Now Linda is still working on trying to get the ants off the frames and stuff, and any hive beetles that she might see. Didn't see a lot of hive beetles. There were a few. All right, and here's my sting on my hand, which really drives me nuts because I had on a pair of leather gloves, but unfortunately the gloves were well worn, and the threading had gotten loose, and it found that one spot between the two pieces of leather that it stung me through the threading of the gloves, and naturally I can't stand getting stung. All right, what we've done, we've put the top cover on, and then what I use is just jars of sugar water, and what we've done, we put a jar of sugar water. We put a top cover on, a jar of sugar water, then a covering for the sugar water, and then the actual cover on top. And that's a waterproof cover on top. Now I just added a guard for the entrance, an entrance guard, which includes a queen excluder, but it didn't seem to allow the bees to find and go in very easily. So I readjusted it and allowed the just make it where they can get in okay. A little later, I'll take it, move it down, and cover the entrance with a queen excluder. Maybe that'll keep them from swarming. Last swarm hive I tried on this, I had them for a day, maybe 2 days, and then they swarmed and took off and went somewhere else. So we're going to try the queen excluder and let them see if they stay in there. Usually I'll lean the box up against the entrance and let the bees that are still remaining the swarm trap walk. But after looking in and realizing how many bees that are still in there, we're gonna shake them into the top. I got to take everything off the top again. But with the amount of bees still in the box, I'd rather just shake them all into the hive and let them start establishing that way. It doesn't hurt the bees if you just turn the box upside down and shake it once real hard. They'll all release and go down into the hive. You don't want to beat them too much, because you don't want to beat the box too much, because you upset them and you can actually burst the bellies of the bees, because they're kind of little fat things if you shake them too hard. And as I get ready to dump this, you'll see the amount of bees that are still in the box, and if you'll watch the top of the hive and watch how quickly the bees that I dumped on top of the hive will work her way down into the hive and find their place and find their queen. And let me emphasize here that Little here has no fear of the bees. She gets down in there with them and has no fear. I don't care if I've got a bee suit on or not. Just something about that giant swarm of buzzing bees that brings out the primal fear in me. But Linda has no fear. She'll be right in the middle of them, bend over, checking them out. Uh, but I still have that fear of getting stung multiple times. All right, shameless plug here. I made all these boxes myself, except I did everything except the frames. I have built some frames, but they're not real good. But this box and the boxes, the bottom, the middle, uh, the top board, and the actual cover, I built all that myself. So, and most of this is from scrap wood. Like I said, I try to recycle as much as I can and use scrap wood. Even the little swarm trap I rebuilt. Excuse me, I used scrap wood and built. And the painting on both of these was some special they had on special at Home Depot or Lowe's that they mixed the wrong color, and it was outdoor paint, and uh, it was on sale. It was very cheap, like $15 for a $60 can of paint. So I try to recycle and reuse everything I can, and in everything that I do, I try to find something good in everything and reuse it. Just as beekeepers care for their hives, protecting, nurturing, and sustaining life, and as recycling gives old things a new purpose, Jesus shows his love by renewing and caring for each of us. In his love, nothing is wasted. He restores what is broken, gives new life, and calls us to be good stewards of creation and one another. And Fearless here is still trying to get the ants off all the boxes as bees crawl all over, but seems to never get stung. Not that I'd wish that on her or anything, but she never gets stung. I'm speeding the next few clips up just to show the transition between the actual swarm box and the new hive. Linda's got them moving. It seems like everything's trying to move into the new hive. She's trying to keep them moving, and uh, eventually someone will actually start walking up the box to go into the new hive. It seems like they come right up to the edge of the swarm box and then just jump and make that transition from the swarm box to the new hive, which is pretty cool. You can see it. I'm running this in fast motion. You see the number of bees that are going into their new home, and hopefully they're happy in there and will stay. A little public service announcement for you on this. This swarm is probably considered to be Italian bees. I think that's what I've got mostly in the area. Uh, They're all different kinds of bees: Russian bees, black bees, all kinds of bees. But these are probably Italian bees. It's a wild swarm, but they could have been in somebody's hive and decided to come over here and find someplace else. But or it could have been one of my 3 swarms I lost last year. Uh, but recently there has been an Africanized swarm found in the Mobile area, I think Baldwin County area. Now, these are not quote unquote killer bees. They are Africanized bees that have been bred, and they're a little more aggressive than normal bees. They're not quote unquote killer bees. They can't kill just like any other hive can kill you. This hive here can kill me if I was allergic to bees and got stung so many times it will kill you. So I think some bees get a bad rap for being considered Africanized bees, but if Africanized bees are found in any beehive, they're destroyed, especially in the state of Alabama or in this area. But recently, like I said, a hive was found in a swarm trap in the Mobile area, and it was destroyed. So we're trying to keep our bees in a good state, in a good because we need our bees, guys. Because if we don't have the bees, nothing will get pollinated, and plants die, crops die, and guess what? We die. All right, I'm leaving this running in fast motion just to show the transition of all the bees coming in. Now, these bees, a lot of the bees you see aren't actually coming out of the boxes. A lot of these bees are foragers that are coming back looking for their hive. Now, there was a lot of them were flying around the ladder stand, wondering what happened to their hive. But once they smelled their queen, and that's what they go off. They go off pheromones and their smells. Once they smell their queen, uh, and probably some of the other bees said, "Hey guys, here we go." Uh, they found the new hive. If you'll watch all the swarming bees that are coming in, uh, you can see them. Just they're not coming out of the box. They're coming from outside, from wherever they were foraging, getting honey, getting pollen, and trying to bring it in, pollen and nectar. All right, as you look at the box, you can still see the bees that are coming in from foraging and landing on the box. And if you look at the side of the box, there's a lot of them that are coming in, and they kind of build up on the box, and then they realize, hey, this isn't our home anymore. I don't smell the queen in here. The queen is in the actual hive, so they make that transition from the box to the hive. But notice the amount of bees on the side, and then it goes to uh, practically no bees on the side. Now, myself and the beautiful wife Linda are no bee experts. We have this is our third or maybe fourth year of trying to uh, raise bees, raise honey, and last year we lost all three of our hives that we had, and we got three new ones this year, and it'll be our fourth hive. We're adding this as a fourth hive. It's a swarm hive, and we're going to see how it does. Now, I have placed this hive right next to where the swarm hive was taken, and it's next to the creek. And once again, once I get it established, one evening when it's really late and dark, and all the bees are back nestled, we're gonna come down here and cover up the front and take that and put it up in our apiaries, and hopefully it'll be happy there and well established. This is a top view. I've kind of left this running. Like I said, I love watching the bees transition into their new hive and jumping out of the swarm box and transitioning into the new hive. And it looks like they like the new hive. They're not trying to swarm or leave it yet, but we'll give it a couple of days to see how it does. Our last swarm that we tried this year was there for 2 days and was looking good, and on the third day it just decided to leave. So sometimes you just don't know what the bees are thinking, what they're not happy with. But we're going to try to keep this one fed and keep it happy, and see if it produces some honey next year. Hey, baby.
Hey.
What do you think? You hot?
Hot.
Okay. As we pack up and get ready to go, Linda is done, and she's had enough of bees for this evening. So we're gonna pack up the four wheeler and get the dogs headed in the right direction, and head on home. Thank you for spending some time with us. We are no experts on beekeeping. We just do as much as we can and try to figure it out as we go. So uh, I've told folks that beekeeping is just like farming. Ask 20 people how to do something, you get 20 different answers.